Hello and welcome to Geek Addicts, the pop culture podcast, where we sometimes have differing opinions on a polarizing movie. My name is Matt. With me, Bill Barber. How's it going, Bill?
It's cold. It's really cold. I
Yeah,
hate. I hate it. I'm already over this.
and the sad thing is too that I don't know how it's been in your neck of the woods, but here, like the week has been better. Still cold, but better. But the weekend's going to be fucking freezing.
Yep, and they're saying some more snow, which is great
Mhm.
because we have no place to put it.
Yeah, I'm not too excited about that. So, what are you gonna
Hey,
do? Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
So,
Um,
how you doing?
I'm tired. This was a long week.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's a long week. I feel like I accomplished literally nothing. Um, yeah, that's how I feel.
See, I'm starting to get that big flow of work that they keep talking about. Like they've been saying we're gonna get like a big wave of work coming up, and that my area was gonna be like the bottleneck spot. Which, first of all, turning out not to be the case because I came into work today and I had a lot of stuff, but I managed to break it back down to what it was when I left yesterday throughout the course of the day. So like it really wasn't that bad. And like apparently, yeah, I only heard it through the grapevine. Like I wasn't told by my manager or anything,
Hmm.
but I was told by somebody who talked to her quite a bit that apparently she's trying to fucking turn my working space into an office for her.
Okay.
So she's gonna try and stuff me into the room where we keep the barrel blasters and the big ass vac that sucks it all up in the pipes. And I don't think she realizes how badly that's gonna work.
Yeah.
But apparently it's something that's supposed to be like a secret, so I can't even like say something to her about it.
Huh.
Yeah. It's not preferable. Especially since in the summer it's fucking sweltering in there. Like there's no AC in that room.
Huh.
Yeah. Not preferable. Not preferable. And all just because she doesn't want to share an office with like the one other person she shares it with. And like not to be a dick or anything, but like what makes her so special? The other managers have to share offices.
Yeah.
Just seems kind of shitty.
Uh, yeah. I don't know what to tell you. Uh,
This would have been better to talk about last week when we were talking
yeah.
about shit.
Yeah. I have a desk. Like that's my workspace.
Yeah, I do currently, but if I get moved in there's not going to be room for it. So,
It's
so I
just one
agree
of
with
those
a lot of
things.
things. Honestly, I don't know how the fuck she expects everything to fit in there.
Probably didn't look and just said that'll work without
Probably,
actually checking.
probably.
Um, uh, I
Yeah,
I've watched absolutely nothing this week.
I've just been continuing my CW adventure. I am almost finished with the fourth wave. That's just what I'm choosing to call it. I don't think there's like a specific like turn of phrase for each like in MCU it would be like the phases, like phase one, phase two. I don't think there's like a specific terminology for that with the CW shows. I'm just choosing to call it wave four.
See, a lot of it comes from like you can tell when like things happened in the comics because like when that series started, it was very New 52, and then like Rebirth happened and they changed a lot of stuff, and then by the end, it was like this weird like they weren't even sure what they were doing anymore.
It's funny you mentioned that too, because like last week I mentioned that they made the 152 reference with the breaches and Flash. Since then, and throughout my watching this week, it's happened over and over and over and over. Like anytime a number gets thrown, it's like 47 with Star Trek or 19 with Stephen King. It's just like they're doing it as much as possible.
That's DC's
Anytime
arc
like,
number.
it's like, oh, turn to channel 52. Oh, we got to go to room 52 in the hospital. You know,
that's just that DC's weird arc number. Because they famously, like, even before the New 52, they had a limited series that was like called 52, which is a great little series. But yeah, they've been using 52 for a long time.
And then like I was watching today, and it was the episode where the Flash accidentally ends up in Supergirl's world.
Yep.
And they're in her boss's office, and like she's looking at them, and she says something like, she's like, I see you all standing there, and you look like a very attractive, racially diverse cast of a CW show. And I was like, wow, that was really on the nose.
we watching Star Trek Discovery here? Like, yeah.
Like, wow, you're just really going to throw it out there, aren't you?
Yeah, a little self-aware, I guess.
A little bit.
I don't think Supergirl started as a CW show. I think it was on ABC originally, and then it just kind of got.
They had that crossover with in the first season, so
yeah, the ABC era did not last long because it got moved over to CW pretty quick.
I just don't know. And then so I'm pretty close. I'm at the point where like I have like 2 episodes left of Supergirl, then like 5 each of Flash and Arrow, and then I got to go through the whole first season of Legends before I get to the next wave, which throws in a whole nother show.
Which one?
That's when Black Lightning comes in.
Right.
Which I wasn't even aware it existed until I started doing this.
I was first time hearing about that show. Okay.
It's on HBO Max, but I don't know. I just thought it was. I don't know. And then like I saw the title, and then I saw like them. I'm assuming the main character was the character they had as like the thumbnail or whatever for the show, and I was scratching my head like, are they just like doing Static but changing his name? Like, because it kind of seems that way.
Black Lightning's been around a lot longer than Static is.
Well, like even like the design with like the goggles and everything, like I was like, wait, what is going on here?
No, Black Lightning's a pretty old character. Let me actually look this up because now I'm curious. Let's see here. Oh yeah, the show.
Yeah, I think we're at a point now where they're probably gonna be adding like another show for each wave. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Black Lightning's first appearance was 1977.
Oh, okay. So it predates Static by about 15 years.
Let me see. When did Static debut?
It was, I think, early 90s.
93, yeah. So Black Lightning's. I knew he was older. I forgot how much older. Yep, yeah. Black Lightning's been around for a bit. He's always been like a very bit character, though.
Fascinating too, like because I mean, especially like in the 70s, you wouldn't expect them to have a black character as like a main character.
No, DC always was doing stuff like like Jon Stewart was one of the main Green Lanterns around then.
Oh, I thought it was just hosting the Daily Show.
No. Now DC's always been fairly. I'm gonna in quotations because this was the 60s and 70s, but they've always been at least they've tried.
So. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, even Star Trek wasn't perfect as far as that went. So
no, I mean you got to give DC credit though. They did have like the female superhero. I mean, they still kind of do in a lot of ways.
Yeah, but no, I'm moving along on it. I'm getting there. I'm at a point. I have all of Arrow now, so that's good.
Nice.
It's just it's taken a little while to get through, because now I'm at a point where I'm, when it was just Arrow and Flash, like that was I was getting through it pretty quick. Now I'm doing 4 shows. When I get to the next wave, it'll be 5 shows. So getting through even one wave from that point onward is going to take a while. So
yeah. See, it's going to be so nice when you do finally get to Superman and Lois, because it's just straight up one show. That's it.
That'd be a nice way to cap it off. Although I feel like I kind of have to watch Constantine now too, because they had that Constantine crossover with Arrow.
Forgot that was a thing.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Because I think I remember looking up a watch order like way back in the day when the CW shows were still like fairly early on. Like the Legends had like just started, and when I was looking at those watch orders, it had Constantine before Arrow.
Yes, I don't remember.
So I don't know.
I
I
gave
don't
up
know,
on
man.
trying to follow the Arrowverse after a while.
Well, I'm just going with like the mainline Arrowverse, and then like I don't know. I'm kind of in the mood to just watch like a bunch of superhero shows, you know. So I mean, we'll see how burnt out I am by the end of the CW stuff, but
Yeah. I mean, Superman and Lois will be a very nice palate cleanser because that show is very fresh.
Fair.
And it doesn't go to shit like most CW shows because it got canceled before it could.
But no, I'm still enjoying my time with it. It's going well.
Good, nice. Speaking of Arrow, I went to the comic shop today. I actually picked up a couple of Green Arrow trades while I was there.
Nice.
I found they had like one of the during like the late 2000s, because the Green Arrow book wasn't selling well, because Green Arrow books notoriously are hard sells. Like they tend to get canceled a lot because they don't sell enough. In the late 2000s, they tried to boost sales on it, so they combined it with Black Canary, and it was Green Arrow Black Canary for a while. I found one of the volumes of that, so I'm gonna give that a check out. I also found the first volume of the infamous New 52 series. I said, "Fuck it, I'll give that a shot."
Fair.
And I found a couple of the Rebirth trades, so just picking up on some stuff.
Very nice.
Because I've been into Green Arrow lately, but collecting his comics is tough because they're all over the place.
It's funny how like with like the MCU and with the CW stuff, like how in both cases they started with like kind of a lesser popularity character, and like in each case it was so popular that it spawned a like universe.
Yeah, well, I know in Marvel's case they were kind of forced to because they didn't own the rights to a lot of their stuff at the time. Still,
yeah. Well, I mean,
to a degree.
The cause of it, like, yeah, it is what it is. But I just mean, like, I just find it funny that, like, you would think, like, with the, for instance, with the current DC cinematic universe, whatever, starting with Superman, like that one is actually kind of like a rare case where you start with Superman and it did really well, and that's going to continue on, hopefully.
Well, what's amusing is that this isn't even the first time they did that, because literally the previous universe also started with Superman.
Well, the point I'm getting to is, like, in a lot of cases when they start with like the big popular characters, I think people's hopes are so high that ultimately, no matter what the quality is, they're disappointed. And then when it's a character like Iron Man or Green Arrow, where they're like not characters that are super popular when they put them out in the first place, and the show and or movie ends up being good, like it blows up and becomes like a whole thing,
Yeah, it's kind of funny when you go before Iron Man came out and you realize Iron Man was like a D-list superhero. And he was not that big, like, at all. And like a lot of people will try to revisionist, be like, no, he was a B-lister at best. Like, no, he wasn't. He was a C-list. No one gave a shit about Iron Man before that movie came out. Like, I didn't even know who Iron Man was. I didn't even know that was a Marvel movie until he appeared in Hulk, and I was like, wait a minute.
I mean, like, I knew Iron Man was part of Marvel only because my little cousin was super into like Marvel cartoons and stuff back in the day, and I remember seeing him in some of those stuff. That's the only reason I knew he was Marvel.
Oh, he does appear in Spider-Man the Animated Series a few times.
Mm-hmm.
The classic '90s show that's so fucking bad, it's amazing. Love that show.
So yeah, that's going well. I'm still plugging away at Hades. I haven't gotten super far. I mean, I'm at a point now where like I'm not going to get any further without beating the game. Because I keep getting to Hades and then I get wiped out. There was
Yeah.
one point though where I got really close. Like I got him like he had like maybe a quarter of his health on his second health bar left.
Yep.
So I mean, I like to hope that he only has the two because just getting him to that point was rough. But at this point, I'm just kind of like working on getting all the stuff I need to get the permanent upgrades and all that. So with any luck, I'll keep working on that and hopefully be able to get through that soon. And I think I only have a couple more side quests in my Chrono Trigger replay.
Nice.
And then it's just Lavos. So that's good.
Nice.
And I finished my Dark Tower The Beginnings omnibus this week and started reading Joe Hill's Lock and Key. And I'm about 150 or so pages into that right now. And it's really good so far. I'm really enjoying it. They're like really leaning into like the horror aspect of it.
Yeah.
Also, fun fact, I didn't know this going in, but the like bulk of the story takes place in a town in Massachusetts called Lovecraft.
Oh, interesting.
But which I found strange. I mean, I guess that it makes sense that something like this would take place in Massachusetts because let's be real, Massachusetts is probably the most haunted state in the country. But with it being Joe Hill and the family history or whatever, you'd think it would be Maine.
Maybe he wants to distance himself from his dad to a degree.
I mean, maybe, but I mean, I haven't read them personally, so I don't know 100%. But from what I understand, he has made references to the Dark Tower in his books before. So, although this was pretty early in his career, so that could be it. Could be the point where he was trying to make a name for himself on his own.
It's possible.
But the art's really, really good. I really like it.
That's cool. I've seen that occasionally. It's not really my genre, so I haven't really been curious, but it's interesting.
It's like it's definitely leaning into like the kind of supernatural horror.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's not like Saw or anything. Like it's not like that kind of horror. It's not like gratuitous,
Saw horror is just goofy at this point, to be honest.
Well, you know what I mean. Like it's not like gratuitous gore or anything like that. It's like you can see this working as a novel.
Yeah, I get that. I'm trying to see who the artist.
It was
Gabriel Rodriguez.
Yes.
What else have they done?
I think they did a run of Superman comics at one point, but mostly they've done like comic versions of like popular horror stuff. Like what's his name? I don't know why I'm blanking on his name. Night of the Living Dead. Not that one in particular, but the guy who did that. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name. Help me out here.
You might know better than I would, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
So the guy who popularized zombies. What the fuck? How am I forgetting his name?
I'm not a big zombie guy, so that's probably why.
I don't know, whatever. Not important. But he's done a lot of that kind of thing.
Yeah, he did a Superman run that I've never read. I'll have to keep that lookout for that.
From what I was trying to look up, like his list of works, but I wasn't really finding like a coherent list.
Yeah, it's not always the clearest.
And that Superman run seems to be the only like superhero thing he's done. So
actually, I might have a way around this because I have an app that actually is like a big comic database.
Oh, there you go.
Let's see here.
George Romero. I'm a fucking idiot.
Oh,
George
yeah,
Romero.
Okay. Yeah, it's a name I know, but like my brain just doesn't function. So,
which reminds me, at some point I need to get the Creepshow comic.
Let's see. Gabriel Rodriguez has done A lot of Lock and Key. He's done a CSI comic. That's weird, but
Yeah,
cool.
I did read that he did that.
The
Yeah.
Rocketeer.
I mean, Lock and Key is the main thing that he's known for.
I'm trying to find this Superman comic because I want to. Oh, he did a Star Trek Green Lantern crossover. What is that?
What? That's crazy. I gotta read that.
It was IDW published it. What was this? 2015. Okay, so that was still New 52. Interesting.
Wait, which Star Trek does it cross over with?
That looks like Kirk.
Oh, okay. Which actually that reminds me. So it kind of came out of nowhere. I have no idea how it happened. Frankie's been into Ninja Turtles lately, and the one she's been watching. It's weird because I actually remember when it came out. The one she's been watching on Netflix. Every now and then, Mikey's watching TV, and it's not called it, but he's definitely watching Star Trek the animated series because they even do like the exact same animation for it. Like it's very clearly Star Trek the animated series from the 70s. It's pretty funny.
That's funny. So apparently he does a lot of cover art. Like he'll do like covers.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. I'll have to look into this more later.
But it's been kind of cool, and this is the first IDW comic that I've read. So
IDW
not that I've read much comics at this point, anyway. But but the art style reminds me of like the kind of art you see in like the Telltale Walking Dead games. It's like that kind of art style.
Oh, okay. So kind of probably like the whoever did the Walking Dead comic.
I don't know. That is one that I'd like to check out at some point, but we'll see. We'll see.
It's long, but they do have those really nice compendium releases for it.
Well, I'm going to focus mostly on the DC stuff for now, and maybe I'll pick up the occasional Marvel comic because I do want to read the Old Man Logan comic at some point.
Fair.
But and there's a bunch of other stuff. Like I'd love to get more into the X-Men comic run. But yeah, it's just I don't know. I've been getting really into comics lately. Oh, I got the Howl's Moving Castle book this week.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool. It's a nice like special edition with like the painted sides of the pages and stuff and everything. It looks really nice. It's shorter than I thought it would be.
It's shorter, but it somehow has more content than the film.
Well, I mean, even a 300-page novel is especially when it's like a smaller novel with like big text, like even that is going to have more in it than a fucking 2-hour movie. So
and that's why the Hobbit movie was a bad idea, because that was a short book that did not need to be 3 fucking movies. I don't care what anyone says.
They definitely weren't going to get it all in one with live action. 2 would have been fine. 2 movies would have been fine. It's because they added so much shit because they wanted it to be a trilogy.
Yeah, and from what everyone said, everyone basically complained that it was too long and too drawn out.
Yeah, well, that again, like that. See, that's the thing is Tolkien's writing is dense. Like, there's a lot in a little. Because I mean, even looking at the Lord of the Rings, because each individual of the Lord of the Rings books, like Fellowship, Two Towers, and Return of the King, they're all only like 400 pages max each.
Yeah.
And usually less. So like, even then, like it's still not as much as it seems, but they are just so fucking dense. And because of the way he wrote, there was some room to play around with it a little bit when it comes to like action scenes and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's reasonable. I mean, honestly, it's crazy that they got each of those books as one movie.
Well, they had a good director who knew what he was doing, and that also wasn't the era where they were desperate to make as much money as possible. So they were going to stretch films out to like multiple parts just to make more money. Well,
the Lord of the Rings trilogy was in production for a very long time before it actually started getting made.
Yeah. Well, they actually planned it out and didn't just cash grab it like modern movies.
Like they had a lot of people on to like help with because the Tolkien estate is notorious for like being real specific about what they allow to happen.
Oh yeah. No, I mean it's not my thing, but I appreciate the art of what it is.
Hey, actually, funny story. The Beatles tried to make a Lord of the Rings movie back in the day.
Sure, why not?
Like they pitched it to Tolkien, and he was like, "Fuck you, that's not happening."
I've seen the Beatles.
It was going to be a musical.
I've watched the Beatles movies, and they are not good. So
Yeah, he pretty much told them to go fuck themselves. He's like, absolutely not.
Jesus. Yeah. Um. Yeah, other than that, I haven't been doing much. I'm still doing my Flash reread.
Mhm.
I finished Mark Wade's first run. Now I'm doing the short mini Grant Morrison Mark Miller run
Okay.
before we go to the second Mark Wade run.
Hmm.
So I'm in the middle of that. I'm about to read the famous human race story, which is like one of the more interesting reads from the Grant Morrison run. Mostly because it's literally about like these two intergalactic beings are like, we're gonna do a challenge. We want you to race us, and if you win, we leave. Well, it was basically a wager. They're like, whoever wins this race, your planet survives, and we blow up the other one. So of course,
Mhm.
Flash has to do this race across the universe with his imaginary friend. Um, it's very Grant Morrison. It encapsulates their writing style because my god, they are a weird
Hmm.
writer, but they write some really interesting stuff.
Hmm. Oh yeah, no, Cindy and I have watched a little bit more JoJo's this week. We're still
Nice.
in part 2, but it's been really funny because the more we watch, the more sucked in she gets, and the more angry she gets about it.
Yep,
It's super funny.
I can
Which
imagine.
is exactly why I wanted her to watch it in the first place, because I knew she would get a lot of enjoyment out of it, but she would also be incredibly frustrated.
Yep,
It's just so fun. It's so fun.
that's
Because
funny.
there was a scene in part 1. I won't spoil it for you, but there's a character who dies, but like they literally get ripped in half, like their legs are gone, arm gone, and dude just did not shut up after that. Like it looks like he's dead, and like the fight continues. JoJo beats the guy, and then he's picking up like the fucking like fourth of a body that he has left. And the dude just does not shut up the whole time. He talks for like a straight 5 minutes after that.
Sounds about right.
It's pretty funny.
Uh,
She got so mad about it. She was fucking complaining over the whole time he was talking.
Speaking of that, though, we should probably get into our segment, the final one for this segment, the
Indeed.
Urameshi and Friends Power Hour. We're finishing up the live action Yu Yu Hakusho today.
Yes. Yes. Seems like it went by very quickly, didn't it?
It did, and yeah, I don't know. That's not a good thing. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It's going through it again. Like I still found enjoyment through the whole thing
There is
personally.
enjoyment, but it has the worst pacing I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, it tried to stuff way too much into too short a runtime.
You want to encapsulate just how amusing this was? I was talking to Alex before we recorded, and I had mentioned I'd finished it, and she had asked me about it, and I said yeah, it's a thing. And I said they tried to shove a little bit too much into like a live action. She's like, oh, what did they try to fit the entire show into like 12 episodes? I said, no, more like
I
5.
wish.
And she
I
was
wish.
like, she just looked at me, what, 5? I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. It becomes a little too swollen because of that.
well, it
Um,
becomes a little too swollen, and they waste. It feels like they wasted 2 episodes just meandering. Like,
yeah. They had like 2 episodes of setup, and they left themselves with little room to actually do the payoff. Um,
also, I just love the dark tournament. Instead of a big tournament, is we're just gonna fight in a warehouse.
pretty much, yeah.
I mean,
Well, it's like it's clear that they're using the Yukina rescue arc as like the baseline for this, because that's very clearly like the kind of room that they're doing that final fight in. I did find it interesting that it was a group fight against Tagoro at the end instead of just being Yusuke.
Fight, yeah, more like curb stomp for a while there, but
Yeah, for quite a while.
Also, god damn it, fucking Kuwabara got the short end of the stick in this show.
He really did, dude. Like he used his sword like fucking twice in the whole damn show.
So
and
it felt like to me they gave all of the potential Kuwabara moments to Keiko of all things, because Keiko actually does shit. Like that whole scene where he's getting his ass kicked because when he can't get his sword up.
Crazy.
I did that totally on purpose. And I mean, his love interest is right there, so it made sense. But
yeah,
Keiko's like actually doing shit. I'm like, where was this Keiko during the fucking anime? Like,
tell me about it. Tell me about it.
And then he gets his sword for like this one fight where he takes out Elder Tagoro, and then immediately gets like yeeted, like because he was gloating.
Yeah, well, I mean, he did the whole like, or first of all, like the whole, like before even Kuwabara used the sword, he just had like this big metal pipe, and like it's sad because it actually seems like he's pretty good with a sword because he's parrying all these fucking hits. Because, you know, Elder Tagoro is doing like this crazy like sword whip thing at him. And he's parrying all these fucking hits with this pipe when he could just be using his fucking sword. So like it is clear that he has some skill with it. He's just not using it. And like so he cuts up Elder Tagoro with it. Oh well, actually before that, I just want to say, how the fuck did Keiko whip that fire extinguisher as hard as she did?
Keiko's secretly jacked, and you know.
She's gotta be, man, because I mean, I don't know like how often you pick up fire extinguishers, but they're not light, you know? Especially for like a small Asian schoolgirl. Like that's not like she's not fucking chucking 20-pound hunks of metal that hard enough to fucking like ruin this dude. Like,
well, no, let's be realistic here. It's probably like most businesses where they haven't checked the goddamn fire extinguisher in years, and it's probably empty.
I mean, it could be. I don't know. It fucked him up pretty good. I mean, I obviously like his body structure is different, but like
did all the
if he was a normal person, he would have been fucked up.
Did all the budget go to Elder Tagoro? Because like my god, like
yeah, they did do a good job with that.
Both the Tagoro brothers got pretty good effects. I will say his true form was
he looked like an action figure.
They tried. They tried hard, and
like it looked like a cell shaded like video game. Like it looked like it would have been at home in like a Xenoverse game.
It looked like somebody, what I would imagine someone trying to cosplay that would look like.
Yeah,
that might be being mean to the cosplayers, as they'd probably do a better job, in all honesty.
And it honestly looked even weirder too, with his just actual face on top of it.
Yeah, the fact that they didn't go the whole way, that was pretty off. I will say though, like, what did you think of Elder Tagoro creating Genkai with his hand?
Well, he did that in the show too.
But in like this, it was worse somehow. Like I saw that, I went, no, please don't. I don't like that.
Well, yeah, the CG definitely wasn't up to par for that.
Honestly, it made it more uncanny, and I was like, I don't like this. Like I was like,
yeah.
ew.
And then they do like the repeat of like what happened in the show where younger Tagoro just fucking yeets him.
Yeah. That fight was good, but it also felt like it went on too long.
Well, I mean, it was the final fight of the show, so it makes sense that out of all the fights, like, it should be the longest one.
The problem was, though, that like they'd already done this like with so many other fights in the series that by this point, it didn't feel special. It was just kind of like, oh.
Well, it was the first like big team up fight we had, and to be fair, I did really like that part of it. Like that's one thing the show has been knocking out of the park the whole time is the choreography. Like,
hey, that's
like they all brought it like 100%.
Although I will say the scene where they're all like trying to push over the fucking muscle man, where they're just like, move.
Yeah,
I'm
right?
just like, I'm like, this doesn't look good. Like this is not convincing me. I did enjoy though that Yusuke's actor was trying to keep like the stance going the entire time. I'm like, he's trying his best.
Yeah, they were definitely going real hard trying to do like impersonations of the characters, like just mannerisms, like. And that's one thing that I noticed from episode 1 that they did a really good job with. It's just emulating that, like the body, like body language, the motions, But I did really like how when it was just Yusuke, he was like trying his damnedest to fucking impale him off of whatever that piece of metal was that was hanging off the wall. And he just could not do it. But then once he had like everyone else helping him out, he was able to fucking spirit gun push him.
I did like his spirit gun, like shoot himself into the spike.
Yeah,
that was kind of fun, even though it ended up being for nothing. But
well, I mean, I think we all expected that to be the case.
Yeah,
but it's just once again like them utilizing the environment to their advantage. Like that's something that the show has also excelled at a lot. And yeah, going back to like the Togoro's true form thing, honestly, I think he was more effective before he transformed, when it was just him.
Yeah, when he was actually like able to fight and not just be this lumbering oaf, like walking.
Yeah,
around.
and he was like running around and doing like these spin kicks and fucking like, honestly, like at the very beginning of the fight when he's just fucking like full tilt sprinting at him, I was like, Jesus, that's scary.
No, his design was great. Like it was a very convincing look. It's honestly when they tried to make him all like fucking his true form, I was like, nope.
Yeah,
you lost my conviction.
And then they tried to like shoehorn in his backstory, like in there as well.
Yeah, like for 5 seconds, they're like, oh yeah, here. Anyways,
oh yeah, here's the demon that killed all of his students and like ate them in front of him, like, and for some reason didn't kill him, I guess.
And then he gets burnt. And he's like, good fight. Dead.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's the other thing is I don't like there's them trying to be accurate at scenes, but obviously like you can't be perfectly accurate because you try to do the whole damn story in 5 episodes.
Also,
so there's room for interpretation there, so you don't have to do it exactly the same way.
Yeah. Also, the goddamn dull surprise when they're like, "Oh yeah, Genkai's dead," by the way, and they're like, "What? No."
Yeah, Kubar was more mad than anyone.
Yeah, he was the only one that had genuine emotion, and everyone else was just like, "No." Anyway,
I mean, to be fair, Kurama and Hiei didn't even know her in this version, so
that's true. Also, she just dies off screen. I'm like, okay.
And then like Keiko and Yukina just happen to walk in, like, "Hey, what's up?"
Hey guys, we're just here. And that's like at the end, Yusuke's like, "I'm sorry I got you dragged into this." I'm like, if anything, she was the most fine out of anybody here. Let's be real.
Yeah, she was fucking doing work throughout the whole thing.
She's like, "Hey, I made a friend. Whoever thought I'd make a yokai friend?" I'm just like, what message is this?
And also, Sakio wasn't as much of a dick this time, because in the show when he was like, "Oh, I bet my life on this fight," and then he loses, he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna Kaiba this bitch and blow up the island."
Oh, yeah, we get that cutscene of him blowing his brains out. I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, okay.
He bet his life. So I mean, I'll
I was like, "God damn!" I was like, I didn't think they'd go that far, but sure. Figured it'd be like an off-screen thing.
Yeah. And then we still got like the whole afterlife scene with Genkai, like, confronting Toguro as he's walking his way to hell on like Snake Way or whatever the fuck that was. It was like literally like Snake Way.
He's going
into hell.
He's going to train with King Kai.
I guess so.
He's sick of Goku's shit. He's like, this guy's much better.
But that was interesting. And also, I don't know why he hid the fact that he was Yukina's brother, because like in the show, it at least made sense that he hid it because it was like his, like the condition for getting the Jigan. But here he got it just by using the sword thing. So like,
also it's not like we were gonna
reason to hide it.
It's also not like we were gonna get his backstory or anything here, so he could have shared. Like, sure,
right? Like, and then he just has to like whisper into Kuwabara's ear that he's not good enough for her. Like,
yeah, I was like, okay, right. So they're still going to do that plot thread, even though they had like zero development in this version.
No, they literally just had that one moment of like Kuwabara like cringing in pain for getting hit in the nuts and being like, "Oh, I love you, Yukina."
She's like, "Who are you?"
Pretty much.
Well, they flirt on that bench at the end. Kind of.
Yeah.
I guess.
Also, they don't bring Genkai back to life in this version, which I actually kind of like. I like that.
Yeah. Although it made, like, what the fuck were Botan and what's his name?
Koenma.
What were they even doing? Like, they were just chilling.
I mean, Koenma had to confront Sakio and be like, "Turn the thing off," and he's like, "No."
They also, yeah, I guess, and Botan was staring at her.
Botan was just,
picture.
she was just doing a whole lot of nothing.
She was watching the game on her like video lake thing.
Yeah, right. She had fucking ESPN on.
I mean, Super Bowl. She's watching the Super Bowl.
And then it just kind of ends, and they're on the boat ride back.
Yeah, they're just on a random ferry, like just chilling.
Did you see the end credit scene?
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, where it's literally just Elder Togoro's head on a beach and just the seagulls pecking at him.
And he's like, "Stop, please."
So like, okay, it feels like we're kind of like cutting this one short, but like really, this episode was mostly fight. Like
that's what happened. Literally, like it was one of the longer episodes too, and literally it flew by because it was just fight.
Yeah, well, I mean, they did the whole like
things happened.
See, that's the thing is like a lot of the things that happened were just like, hey, remember this scene from the show? There we go, we did it. You know, oh, look, Kuwabara is dead, but wait, no, he's not. You know,
yeah, you got his heart ripped out again.
So like, I mean, like we're not like, you know, martial artists. You know, we can't break down like each individual like fight scene or anything like that. Well, I mean, we can call out some stuff that we thought was cool, but
what's annoying is that the three best episodes are the ones with like the least amount of plot because they're mostly fight. The ones that try to get plot heavy are the in between episodes, because literally it's like it was 1, 3, and 5 are the more interesting episodes, and then 2 and 4 are just like exposition dumps, and they're so convoluted in how they handle it.
And like honestly, like the fights themselves are where the show really shines because of like how good the fucking choreography is. Like you have to imagine that these actors have martial arts background.
They have
like
to.
They didn't learn this shit on set. Like they had to have known what they were doing.
Yeah. To be honest, like my biggest problem with this adaptation is the fact that like if you are not a fan of the source material, this is like a horrible like way of getting someone into the show.
I mean, I see where you're coming from. I don't think it's as bad as like say The Girl from the Other Side.
Well, that was just painfully underdeveloped.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this has that too, but I feel like there is probably an audience here who would like just happen to catch us on Netflix and be like, and then like afterwards see like, you know, here's what you should watch next, and it has like the actual show. I can see somebody watching this and being like, I need to see more about what this is about.
That's the thing though, is like if they made it that far, because I could see a lot of people getting to episode 2 and just be like, nah, this is
it's also possible somebody would start watching it and not know that it's only 5 episodes and that it's not going to be any more.
Yeah. Because I will say the first episode, aside from that one fight being way too long, was probably the most consistent episode. Like, because the first episode,
engaging.
Yeah, it gets you into it, and then episode 2 just drags its ass the entire time, and I'm like, it was literally like, when do we get to the ride? This is the ride.
This is the ride. Is that a SpongeBob reference?
Fairly Odd Parents.
Fairly Odd Parents. That's right.
They went to Escalator Land.
It was the other big Nickelodeon show at the time.
Yep. Yeah, it's unfortunate because there's so much promise here. It's just the little things that hold it back.
Yeah, honestly, at the end of the day, I still think it's a a step above a lot of other anime live actions.
Yeah, you know what hurt this one the most? The fact that
There was a lot of heart. There was a lot of heart behind it. You can tell.
yeah, it gets hurt the most by the fact that it came out so goddamn close to One Piece.
True. This is true.
And One Piece, that is just kind of like now the gold standard of a live
Well,
action.
there was no way they were going to get Tagashi to work on this because he's fucking having a hard enough time coming out with chapters for Hunter x Hunter. There's no way he's going to work on this.
This would have benefited from more episodes. Is the main thing.
Yes. I think even if it was 8 episodes, I think that would have helped immensely.
Or if they wanted to keep it on the smaller side, they could have done like the Rurouni Kenshin method and made it a bunch of movies.
That also would have been acceptable. Yeah, because if they just done a series of movies, that would have been because they could have done a whole movie just on like coming back to life and then dealing with Hiei and Kurama, and then there could have been another movie that was all like they could have just handled like each major arc as a movie.
Yeah, and like Three Kings, no, not Three Kings. We don't really need that. Dark Tournament could have actually been like an actual tournament, not just a throw down in a warehouse.
I mean, they definitely could have cut it down a little bit. They didn't have to be like 5 or 6 rounds or whatever the fuck it was.
Wait, they could do the Rurouni Kenshin method and just.
You could do the main ones, you know, like you have the first round where we reveal a bunch of shit. The round with like all the ninjas because you know Jin's just awesome. Yeah. And then you know the Toguro one, you know, like there's ways we could have done it.
Yeah,
and maybe someday in the future we'll get. But at the same time, like I have a hard time imagining them getting a better cast.
Yeah, because the cast was really good. So, even Kuwabara's actor, even though he got the fucking short end of the stick.
Yeah, I don't know. I had so much hope for this. I still think it turned out passable.
It's not bad. Like it's not
trash.
It's not Attack on Titan. It's not Full Metal Alchemist, where it's like you're just watching, you're like, yeah, like the whole time. I don't count the Netflix Death Note because that's a masterpiece. I don't care what anyone says. That is art. we just don't understand. I've seen the series now, so I can actually say this like full on.
But, you guys just aren't artistic enough to get it.
You guys don't understand true art. That scene with the stuff in the classroom is it is the greatest thing.
Well, that's the best scene in the whole movie by far.
That and the stupidity of the goddamn Ferris wheel scene, like everything about that movie.
Yeah, the fucking song as she's falling, like that was ridiculous.
That and fucking like Elle just like crying in the fucking his bedroom, like with the note.
Yeah, having a fucking moment.
Like, what are we doing here? Like,
yeah, that was a little ridiculous.
Like, how did he come off more creepy than actual Elle? Like,
yeah. Oh god.
That's
anyways, that's Yu Yu Hakusho. That's another live action down.
I gave it a solid 3.5 stars.
That's fair. I'd say that's perfectly fair rating.
Like, it definitely meant for Yu Yu Hakusho fans. Like, it's one of those shows that you probably need to at least know something of the source material to really understand it, because it goes off the rails real quick.
Let's see, that's the thing is, like, if the heart is in it, I can forgive a lot. You know, there's a lot of things I can forgive if there's true heart in it, and this show definitely had the heart.
The core is there. It's the little things in between that chip away at it and kind of annoy me. That's kind of my thoughts on it.
And part of the reason why that does get frustrating is because the original anime is just so good.
Yeah, it's a classic to this day.
Yeah.
But that was Uramishi and Friends Power Hour, our recap of the live action Yu Yu Hakusho. Look out for the full cut when we release that next week, probably. But anyways, I guess moving on now. I don't know how to turn off the. Oh no, I turned off our banner. Right, it's back. Come Well,
Get rid of the music.
There we go. All right. So moving on now to our topic for this episode.
Indeed.
We're talking about X-Men Origins Wolverine.
So
I'm gonna say it right now. This is my Flash. Like, there's so many good ideas in this movie, and it's the little things that piss me the fuck off about this movie.
That's fair. That's fair.
Because I went when I texted you last night saying this movie was worse than I remembered. I was only like 20 minutes in. So
really?
after that, I softened on it a bit, and I was like, all right, it's not that bad. But I'm like, then my brain goes around. I'm like, this movie's fucking stupid. Like that was where my brain went. I was like, it went from being bad to like, I'm like, this is just dumb. Like,
well, see, I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, like and let me be clear here. I don't think this is a top tier X-Men movie by any means. This is easily middle level. Like it's not the worst, but it's definitely not in the top tier.
It's easily the worst Wolverine movie.
Well, it's been a while since I watched the Wolverine, so I can't really say on that. But
I like that one more, even though that one was a stretch because it wasn't R. But
like, I'd still put it above a lot of the other X-Men movies.
Rewatching it, I mean, it's still obviously below the first two.
It's below the first two. It's definitely below Days of Future Past and Logan.
Yes. Even First Class, I'd say First Class was better.
I'd say as a package, First Class is better, for sure. There's a lot of things in this movie that I do enjoy. Like, this is one of those things where, like, it has a reputation, right? And, like, I understand because there are definitely parts of the movie that frustrate me to no end.
Well, to me, that's the thing. There are really good things about this movie, like particularly some of the casting choices we'll get into.
Yeah, the casting choices. I think the movie has good pacing.
It does. It's quick. Like, it's a very quick movie. It's more of the fact that like the moments that should have been the highlights get glazed over so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a few very interesting interpretations of characters. We'll get to him later. We'll get.
I think that's what I think personally. I think that's the big thing that everybody remembers, and that's why it has such a bad reputation.
There's more than that. Like there.
Oh, for sure. But I think that's the big thing.
Yeah. Ugh. See, my biggest problem with this movie is like the entire like thing is like the whole how he got like the metal claws and like the whole like that was supposed to be like the big like the whole Weapon X thing, and it's like it's literally like 3 minutes and it's over and they just completely move on, and I'm like, there was so much more to that like that could have been gone into, and they just out the window. It's fine, it happened. That's how it did it.
It's funny too that you say like the first 20 minutes of the part where you were like, oh, this is horrible compared to what I remembered and everything. Like, I personally really liked the very beginning of the movie because you start with the whole thing with his dad. Like, that was kind of weird, where it's just like, oh, the groundskeeper who worked for our family is my actual father, and this kid who just kind of lives here is actually my brother. Ooh, like,
so here's the thing, like the scene where we actually see them go through the wars, like which it's all just basically like these like very quick snippets.
I did like that.
That's my favorite part. That's my fucking favorite part of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes downhill so far after that. I'm like, that was cool. But now we just got Lumberjack Logan over here.
Logan being a lumberjack just makes sense to me.
It does make sense. But that's why I go so annoyed by it. I'm like
he's a Canadian lumberjack.
I'm like, this is like, I was just annoyed because I'm like, this whole thing, like, because this movie also like completely like spits in the face of continuity from the previous 3 movies at times.
Yeah, and then, well, I mean, to be fair, the later movies also kind of spit in the face of the continuity this movie sets up as well.
It's almost like this movie is kind of just in a bubble, and you just kind of ignore it. Other than like Wolverine got claws and lost his memory. That's really all that matters from this movie.
Yeah. For me personally, it's like the last like 15 to 20 minutes that I think are the roughest.
That's pretty rough. It's that whole middle section where he's like, well, what annoys me is like this movie has like moments where it's like really good, like heartwarming to like just I was like really
Mhm.
because like after he gets the claws, he meets this like elderly family, and it's like this really sweet scene, and they just get fucking murdered, and I'm like, oh, cool,
I
like
do love
great.
the scene of him in the bathroom when he's checking out his new claws and he accidentally destroys the bathroom.
That was funny. Those claws were fucking hideous though. Like, how is the
Yeah,
CG
they did
that
not look good. They did
like?
not look good.
This is the fourth movie. The first movie looked better. Like, what happened? Like,
Yeah. Well, that's because the first movie I think was mostly practical. Because like the one of the scenes that I remember the most from the first movie is the first like close up we get of his claws coming out. And it's very clear that it's not CG, it's a fake hand that they have the claws coming out
yeah.
of.
But
But that looked better to me than a lot of the claw scenes in this movie.
even the third movie, like the one right before this, they apparently used the same effects studio from what I was reading. Like, what happened? Like, what?
I think I think this was like the point in time where they were starting to really lean into like let's just use CG for all the effects, but they hadn't really like gotten that good with the CG yet. I think it's a similar because this was right around the same time as like Green Lantern, right?
Um, it was before because you got to remember Ryan Reynolds is in this.
Yes.
Uh,
I remember. I know.
well, to be fair, when he actually gets to be Ryan Reynolds, he's great. That's why we'll get there. We will get there.
Yeah.
2009. This was like 3-4 years before Green Lantern. So
I thought
Green Lantern was
Like
2011.
2011.
Yeah.
So it was 2 years. So by the time this movie came out, they were probably already starting production on Green Lantern.
Well, 2 years at yeah. Well, I mean, 2 years in CG is a lot because CG is crazy,
especially at that time.
I do want to say though, like right off the bat, I wanted to bring up some of the casting choices just to get the good parts like out of the way. Like the guy who plays Sabretooth.
This is the only time he plays Sabretooth, isn't it?
Yes, Liev Schreiber, I think his name is.
Mm-hmm.
He fucking nails it. Like, why is he so good? Like, because the guy in the first movie is very much a different guy who actually looks probably more like the character, honestly. But he's also just a meathead and doesn't do anything other than be like roar.
That was also before they decided, like, hey, he's gonna be Logan's brother. Like,
because they brought that guy back for Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, like 20 something years later.
Yeah, they didn't bring back this guy, but this guy like had some actual like chops and like.
Well, that's because he actually had a character to play, you know.
Yeah, he was really good. Like he honestly is probably the highlight of this film in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the guy who played Gambit?
See, before when I used to watch this movie, I thought it was fine. Now that I've seen Channing Tatum as Gambit, honestly, it brought it down for me a lot.
Yeah, because this guy was fine, but he literally he's basically just Gambit in name only because he basically he does card thing and then
he swings his pole around a little bit
and then flies a plane.
It's about all he's good for in this movie.
Yeah, if we didn't have the Channing Tatum like in Deadpool and Wolverine, I'd probably be more okay with it, but like he was fine.
Yeah, because Channing Tatum just kind of killed it in that movie, and like I just
he'd been waiting years to play that role because he never got to.
Yeah, and like if they were to like say recast Gambit in like the MCU or something, I'd like actually be mad.
Also, so Stryker, they got Danny Hudson to play him, who I think does a phenomenal job.
I think he did a really good job of emulating the guy. I don't know who played him in X2.
Brian Cox. He did, and they de-aged him. But then I just sit here going like, why didn't they just DH Brian Cox? Like, it's just one of those things where I'm like, why? Like, because they don't look alike at all.
Well, I mean, it's been a while since I watched X2, so I can't really speak on that. But I actually come to think of it now, like I was thinking about this earlier, and I'm actually kind of happy that we're doing this before X2, because now we can kind of compare and contrast. Because like with Stryker being like the main like antagonist of X2, it'll be interesting to kind of have this in the back of our minds as we watch that later.
Yeah, we have to we got to cleanse our palates with a good movie after watching this.
Yeah. Well, see, it's funny you say that because we already decided what the next one of these is going to be, and that's
the next X-Men movie. I mean,
yeah, fair.
Because what's the third X-Men movie? I always forget the name of that one.
The Last Stand.
The Last Stand. Is that one considered bad or good? I don't even know at this point.
When you're looking at just the original like trilogy of X-Men movies, it's easily considered to be the worst one. I've definitely heard a lot of people.
Yeah,
I've heard a lot of people talk shit about it. I personally didn't mind it. Like growing up, I liked it, and I don't like hate it when I watch it now. I, it's hard for me to say whether I like The Last Stand or X-Men Origins more.
Well, if you my thing with this movie is if you took Wolverine out of it, you could easily try and be like this. You could try to pass this as off as a different movie entirely.
Yeah. We'll see. Like I was thinking about like how you could have changed the ending of this movie, and if the ending had played out differently, if they had just taken the name Deadpool off the table and just made it like this is just a mutant that we just stuffed all these powers into.
Most people say that if he was just some random thing they created just for this movie, they would actually be okay with it. It's the fact that it's explicably Deadpool and it's literally
by name. They specifically name him Deadpool in this movie, and
it's also Wade Wilson. Like it's straight up Deadpool, and they basically take everything that makes Deadpool and throw it in the trash, and instead just make him some he's fucking Baraka from fucking Mortal Kombat.
Pretty much
without
with
the
healing factor.
Without the mouth.
Yeah, with the very distinct lack of mouth.
You know the worst part about that is though to me the fact that the one scene where we see Wade before that, he's fucking perfect. Like,
well, that mean it makes sense why they said we're making an actual Deadpool movie where it's actually Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds.
It makes sense that Ryan Reynolds would be a persistent asshole and basically pester Fox to actually make the goddamn Deadpool movie because he nailed it. And they fucked it up so hard. Like,
for sure.
When he
barely even had a chance to be Wade Wilson in this movie. Like he had like 2 scenes.
And how little he's in this movie in those 2 scenes, which apparently too, he wasn't even supposed to be in this movie. That was like a very last minute addition.
Which it shows. It shows.
If you ever want like to read into some interesting tea, look up the development history for this movie because oh my, like I can imagine. Apparently, the director was basically just like a director in name only because basically the suits took over direction of this movie. And the director basically had like every decision he tried to make was basically just overruled behind his back, like shit like that. They added in characters at the last minute and then fucked him up, like because it was the suits that decided that was what Deadpool was going to be. Because that's so much more interesting than what Deadpool is.
Yeah, right.
Totally.
Let me just type in some. It literally turned Deadpool into like a point and click adventure. It's like decapitate. Click, 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 click. What the fuck?
Yeah, that scene where they like lift up the tarp and his mouth is like poorly sewn shut. I'm like, what are we doing here?
It's like melted shut. Like,
well, when you first see him, it's like sewn, and then later it's been melted. But like,
yeah,
I see that. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, what is this right now?
And they gave him fucking Cyclops' laser eyes, and that's why he's got the stupid black diamonds on his face. Like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Also, I wasn't expecting Scott Summers to appear in this movie. Like, I forgot that he was here because he just shows up like, oh, right.
But see, I can accept that to a degree. It's just there's just ways they could have done this a lot better with that ending bit.
Also, when his girlfriend dies, I totally called that she wasn't dead because I was just like it's too convenient. We didn't see her actually get murdered.
Well, I mean, I see what your point, but also it's such a cliche for it to just be like, oh, I wanted out and I was refusing to bite, and then my lady died, so now I have to go on a revenge quest against my brother because fuck him.
Yeah.
Also,
No.
didn't realize until this most recent viewing that they didn't already know, like that they didn't already know they were brothers. Like obviously, like it was like a reveal, like this is my real dad, but like I thought that they already knew that they were brothers and that they just were sired by different fathers or something. I don't know. I mean, the mutton chops make sense now, but
I guess it's just. What about the light bulb guy that just gets fucking yeeted off screen?
oh, you mean Meriatic Brandybuck? He's from Lord of the Rings.
Sure, he
He's one of the
dies.
hobbits.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
I always forget that he's in this movie.
yeah. I mean, he's there for 3 seconds.
Also, Will I Am. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. When he's, I'm like, oh yeah. When I looked at the date, I'm like, oh yeah, Black Eyed Peas are still relevant at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
What a horrible
That's
way
true,
to
true.
die.
Yeah, right.
Um. Also, the Blob. I thought the Blob was actually, for like such a bit part, that guy had a compelling, like his actor put a pretty compelling performance.
Yeah, agreed. And it was funny too. Is like when I for the longest time it was just like, oh yeah, he's just a dude who's like really fat. But like somewhat recently, I read like early issues of like the original early issues of X-Men, and the Blob is like one of the first fucking antagonist characters. Like he's in like issue 4 of the Uncanny
Yeah.
X-Men.
Yep.
Like that's how early he's introduced. I was like, oh okay, that's kind of cool. They put him in there. Um, one thing I didn't like about Wolverine in this movie is that I feel like some of his mannerisms and such and like habits couldn't have already been established before he lost his memory. Like the fact that he smoked cigars and the fact that he like called people bub. Like, I feel like that should have been stuff that he developed after losing his memory. Because why would he just go? Why would he start calling people bub after losing his memory if he didn't remember that that was something that he said?
It's almost like this is a very bad origin story. Like,
Like stuff like that, or even just like how would he know that he likes smoking cigars specifically?
yeah, because like I didn't even think of that. That is because people wouldn't be able to tell this is Wolverine without it. I mean,
I guess I don't know.
ugh.
I mean, because there's a lot of things about this movie that I do like. Like I think if you looked at this movie in a bubble as its own thing, cutting out the whole Deadpool bit at the end, it's a pretty serviceable movie. It does what it needs to do. It tells the story. Like him going out and fucking doing all fighting in these wars, and then getting recruited into like this fucking mutant like task force, whatever the fuck they are.
See,
And
my big problem with it though is the fact that like aside from his memory loss and how he gets the adamantium, everything in this movie means fuck all. Like going for the rest of the movies, because like we see Sabretooth in one, and it's not the same character. Like it's in name only. It's Sabretooth, I guess.
Yeah.
So that whole relationship they established is pointless in reality.
I mean, even the bit at the end where Professor X picks up all the escapees and he's walking, and then the very next movie they establish that he gets fucking paralyzed when he's younger than that, like considerably younger.
Yeah, this movie. Also, the the Ryan Reynolds Wade Wilson in this movie is canonically not the same one from the Deadpool movies. It's
Yeah.
which leads me to believe this movie is barely canon. Like at this point, like there ain't much in this that really transfers over.
Well, I mean, like what, 2, 3 movies after that, there was a time reset.
Even not counting the time reset, like it's very questionable in a lot of ways.
I suppose.
That's my big problem with this is like the fact that like literally this movie amounts to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
no, I get that.
You could not watch this movie and you're nothing would be affected, like timeline wise.
Yeah, if you just watched the first 3 movies, then went straight to First Class, you wouldn't miss anything.
You didn't even have to really watch First Class. If you just go right to Days of Future Past, you'd still be fine.
Well, you kind of do need the setup from First Class for Days of Future Past.
To a degree. I mean, I watched Days of Future Past before I watched First Class, and I was fine. So
I mean, realistically, you could watch any of the X-Men movies in any order, and it's fine.
Other than maybe Apocalypse. Apocalypse is a little.
Well, I mean, the less said about that movie, the better.
Bryan Singer thought he was cooking. And that was the point where I realized Bryan Singer's not that great a director. He just got really lucky with those 3 X-Men movies.
Yeah. He's also not a very good person, so.
I'm aware. That's why I don't really think fondly of his directing. I just think he happened to direct 3 really good movies.
I chalk that up to the team.
Well, yeah, because when you look at his one Superman movie that he directed, it's one of the worst Superman movies ever made. So
he just had a really good cast and crew that carried the whole thing for him. That's about it.
In the X-Men movies, yeah.
Yeah.
Superman Returns, no. Like Brandon Routh was wasted in that movie. Like, because we found out, you'll see it when you get to his cameo in the CW verse, but that guy can act and play Superman very well.
With the guy who played him in Superman Returns?
Oh yeah, he cameos later. You'll see. I'm not going to spoil it.
Well, I know he's the Atom in CW.
He also plays Superman.
Oh,
I won't spoil it though.
It must be a Crisis Infinite Earths situation.
It's in there, but I'm not going to spoil the context because when you see it, you'll be like, oh,
fair,
and you'll go, oh,
fair. I am really interested just because if they bring one of the movie versions in, like I wonder what other crossover people will have.
I will say this: Kevin Conroy gets to play Batman live action, and it is cool.
I did know that.
It is glorious. I'm glad he got to do it once before he died.
Is those the only 2 like big ones they pull from movies, or are there more? I don't want to know who, but if there are more, are there more?
I don't remember. It's been a long time.
Okay.
I remember Routh and I remember Conroy.
Well, I have a ways to go before I get there anyway, so because I think that doesn't happen until Arrow season 7. So
yeah, it's very late because it's partially what leads into the new timeline. So,
so yeah, either way, I got a ways to go before that. But
yes,
but yeah, like another thing about this movie that bothered me, and I know I say that I enjoy this movie, and I keep mentioning things that bother me, but I mean, it is what it is.
See, this is kind of like how I low-key kind of enjoy Green Lantern, even though that's also a dumpster fire of a movie.
Well, see, that's the same kind of like, because that was like my idea of why I chose this movie for this section, is because when we did the DC, we did a movie that's generally considered a bad movie, but you can still find enjoyment watching it. Like it's not unwatchable, but it has a bad reputation. And then we watched Flash, which is just fucking awful.
Yeah.
So I figured we'd do the same thing with the Marvel movies. We'd do one that has a bad reputation, is generally considered to be bad in the pantheon of the movies it comes from, but it's still a movie you can enjoy watching.
Honestly,
what we're going to do next time, we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah. Honestly, my biggest fucking problem with this movie is the fact that it's pointless. Like, that bothers me more than anything, because once we get to the end and how he gets his amnesia, which I was like, really?
An adamantium bullet to the head. Which, I mean, realistically, if it was going to happen without, like, a psychic mutant or something being involved. That is the way that makes the most sense
Yeah.
to a degree. But I don't know. Oh yeah, the
Also,
other thing that kind of bothered me is like we go through this whole movie, right? Because like yeah, obviously they had their history, their brothers, whatever. Um, but you know, once it got to the point where like you killed my lady, but you didn't kill my lady, but you're still a piece of shit, and I hate you. And then they do the whole like team up against Deadpool, quote unquote, at the end, and they just seemed like way too like brothers in arms, no pun intended, for like all the shit that they went through over the course of this movie. Like, I think it would have been way more effective personally if instead of doing the whole Deadpool thing, if it had just been the two of them fighting. And then,
yeah,
like, you know, whatever happens, you know, the fight is interrupted or like there is a definitive winner, but nobody dies, and then we move on.
I'm pretty
Because
sure I was
because we
about to.
had the whole scene. Well, what's that? I'm going somewhere with this. Because they did the whole thing where like they finally they beat the guy. He falls, and then you know Logan has his moment where he's like, "Oh, this changes nothing between us," and Sabretooth is all like, "Oh, nothing's this isn't." This isn't over, Logan. We're still brothers. We got each other's backs. And then the next fucking time we see them, they're trying to kill each other again. And like, yeah, Logan doesn't know what's going on, but Sabretooth remembers everything. So it's like, what the fuck?
It's almost like that's a different character or something. Um, so I believe what in the original draft before Deadpool was added. I'm not sure if this is better or not, but apparently in the original draft, it was supposed to be like a horde of Sabretooth clones that he was fighting.
Uh,
I don't know if that's better or not. It makes more sense, but at the same time, I'm like, would that be better?
I mean, at least then we wouldn't get the abomination of Deadpool we got.
Yeah,
But I still
but
don't like the idea.
but also if we never got that, that's the weird double edged sword. Though is if we never got that abomination of Deadpool, we also never would have gotten Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool movies.
So we got a Dragon Ball Evolution conundrum here.
Kinda, because the only reason he was such a persistent asshole about making that movie was because he was so annoyed that he did the version he played was so abysmal.
Mm-hmm.
Because everyone forgets too, Ryan Reynolds is a massive Deadpool fan. That's why he's so good as the character.
Yeah. And plus, he just kind of has that energy about him anyway. Like, even like going back, because I one of the, that wasn't the first thing, but one of the very first things I ever saw of Ryan Reynolds was in Waiting. I don't know if you ever saw that movie, but like his performance in that movie, like you can see like the DNA, like he is born to play those kinds of characters, like those kinds of like shit talking, like off the cuff kind of characters, you know.
The only funny line that came out of that abomination of a Deadpool at the end is when Logan makes the comment, "Oh, they finally found a way to shut you up, Wade."
Hmm.
I was like, "That's funny," but at the same time, it's like, no.
I took the stinger at the end, the post credit scene.
I already forgot what it was. Can you remind me?
It was the fucking. It was seeing like his sword arm retract, and then his hand comes over and grabs his head, and his mouth is unsewn again, and it just goes, shh.
Oh yeah, yeah. See, unfortunately, that just like because that character is technically not canon anymore. It just kind of was like, yeah,
Which is weird because when you think about it, right? Technically, this is the same universe because this is like the universe that leads into Logan, right? Or actually, no, because Logan would have been an extension of the reset, so never mind.
yeah. It's fucking continuity. Makes no
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. Well, it's gonna be even more confusing when fucking Doomsday comes out because they're bringing all of them back.
I just don't care anymore. I'm so done with it. Like Endgame is where it ended for me. Oh. because I'm like,
they're bringing all those Fox mutants back. It's like, what the fuck?
great.
We've already
Great.
recasted these people like multiple times. Why we're bringing all the originals back now?
I got to see Hugh Jackman wear the yellow. That's all I care about. I saw it once.
Yeah, at this point, I'm satisfied with what we've gotten from Hugh Jackman. Let Henry Cavill take over at this point.
Yeah, give him a chance to do a superhero movie right.
I mean, I do still think that it's going to be hard, real hard to get anybody who can live up to Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen for Professor X and Magneto.
Yeah, I don't see that going over very the same, unfortunately.
I mean, James McAvoy is a fantastic actor, and he's got some fucking range. That's for sure. So I have no problem with him doing like a younger Professor X, or like maybe years down the line when he's older, he could do like older Professor X. But I don't know.
Yeah, that's one of those unfortunate. Like it's a perfect casting, but like unfortunately, people age out.
Yeah,
The fact that Hugh Jackman was able to do Deadpool and Wolverine is like a miracle in its own right.
yeah, for sure.
Because he looked old in Logan, and not even without like the makeup and stuff. Like he looked old in that movie.
You know, even in Devil and Wolverine, like he was looking pretty old. You know,
He was, but like the amount of like fucking like working out he probably had to do for that movie, like holy shit.
well, a lot of those muscles were, I think, especially that end scene, that was definitely CG.
That was CG, but he was still in good shape during that movie.
For sure, for sure.
What's funny though is like you see ads with Ryan Reynolds and you're like, holy shit, he's old now too.
Yeah. Well, it's just like how we've been seeing ads for the Scrubs revival, and like I'm seeing all them like, holy shit, they're all super old too. Like, holy shit.
That's how I felt. That's how I felt when I watched the Friends reunion. I was like, oh my god, they are old. Like,
Yeah.
then it's like you
Yeah.
look, you realize you're like, I'm old. Like, good god.
Yeah. I try not to think about it.
I remember when this fucking movie was in the theaters, and like I was a fucking baby then, and like
I didn't see it in theaters, but I remember when it came out.
I didn't either. I just remember the trailers because it was all like everyone's like, "Oh, Wolverine movie, that's totally gonna be great."
Actually, come to think of it, I think the only quote unquote X-Men movie I ever saw in theaters was Deadpool and Wolverine. And I wouldn't even call that an X-Men movie. I'd say it's just a two-character team-up movie.
I saw Days of Future Past in theaters.
That must have been cool. That's one of the top tier ones, so that must have been cool.
It's either that or X2 is the best in the series, I'd say.
Yeah, that's fair. I still put Logan up there. I think Logan X2 and Days of Future Past are easily the top three. I think
Logan's good. That one had the benefit though; it had good source material to go off of. Actually, ironically, so did Days of Future Past. Now that I think about it,
but that one was great because it wasn't an action movie. You know, like that wasn't what it was going for, and I think it was definitely to its benefit because I could definitely see a world where they would lean more into like the action movie kind of thing.
it's also rated R, which helped.
Yes, for sure. There's titties in that movie. I totally forgot about that until I rewatched all of them last year.
Yeah, I mean R rating. You gotta do what you gotta
do. Because fucking Logan was being like a limo driver or something. He's a fucking limo. He's a chauffeur in that movie.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, it just in the end, this was very much a very mid movie in a lot of ways.
Well, like I say, you know, like definitely the first two X-Men movies, Days of Future Past and Logan, they're all above this movie. But it's definitely better than Apocalypse. It's definitely better than Dark Phoenix. It's definitely better than the New Mutants. Like it's a perfectly serviceable standalone film.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, if you just don't look at Deadpool.
Yeah, I mean that the fact that literally there's no reason to watch it. Because realistically, if you want a Wolverine movie, there's just two better ones.
Fair.
My problem is it's the fact too that there's just no, despite the whole X-Men Origins thing, it's just no. It doesn't do anything for the franchise. It just is like it's like, oh yeah, this is how he got his metal skeleton. Yay!
I think they were trying to like kick off like a whole spin-off series of like origin movies for all the different characters,
They
and
were,
one
and this
did
one
so
was
poorly
so
that they just threw it out.
Yeah,
They just threw it in the trash.
well, because there was supposed to be X-Men Origins Cyclops. There's going to be Gambit. There's a whole bunch of them planned.
I mean, the first class, you could make an argument that that's an origin movie too, but
I mean, that actually tries to be. First Class was the first X-Men movie that actually wanted to be an X-Men movie.
yeah.
Because as much as I love the first two, those movies were trying so hard to be as far away from the comics as they could.
I mean, if you really think about it, all the movies are trying to stay pretty far from the comics because they all kind of just do whatever they want with the continuity.
Yeah, but like when you get to First Class, that one's like very much trying to be like the comics, like with the bright colors and like staying somewhat true to the source material. Because after that, they were mostly pretty faithful, all things considered.
I don't know. I don't know enough about the comics to really speak on it, but I've only read like maybe the first 10 issues of the series. So
I just know like just the feel, but that was also during like the height of the MCU, so like things were just starting to change.
yeah, this is true. This is true.
But yeah, that was a movie.
Sure was. It sure was.
It came and went, and I watched it, and I went, okay. Remember why I've only watched this once? And I was like, because there's literally no reason to watch it again. It's a perfect one and done movie.
Well, I understand your viewpoint on it, but I'll have to respectfully disagree. Because while it is a heavily flawed movie, I still find enjoyment in it. And whenever I do X-Men rewatches, it's always in there. So
that's fair. I'm also not a massive Marvel fan, so it's one of those things for me.
I mean, I'm not either. I mean, we're both pretty firmly DC guys, but I like both universes. I just prefer DC.
See, when
it just so happens that with Marvel, X-Men is like one of the two big things that I'm into. So
fair. I mean, when it comes to Marvel, for me, the only thing I ever really cared about was Spider-Man. So.
Yeah, Spider-Man was the other one.
And even then, I can't read a Spider-Man comic anymore because reasons. But that's for another podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I think other than that, we'll discuss probably off camera what we're gonna do next week. But once again, guys, thank you for joining us on Geek Addicts. You can find Geek Addicts on all the major podcasting platforms. Be sure to check us out on the Superpod Network, superpodnetwork.com. Awesome site where you can find a whole bunch of different videos, blogs, podcasts, a whole bunch of awesome creators with some awesome shows. But anyways, guys, once again, thank you for watching or listening, whatever you do with the podcast, and we will see you all next time.
Have a good one.